through the rites to sink my homeland beneath the waves and unname myself.
Footnote. I don't even want to think about what that man told you were the rites. It was horrific enough the first time I heard it. Can you really even use the word lead?
But I'm afraid now that I must not have meant it hard enough.
Footnote. Gods and fishes. Every time you mention that man and what he did to you, I want to tear something apart. Of course you didn't mean it. How could you have meant it in those circumstances? You were coerced.
Because I still feel like I have my name. I whisper it into the dark sometimes, and it feels like I'm breaking a tenet, though the tenets of the chants are few and vague and abstract.
Footnote. I rest my case. He didn't teach you anything. I did keep telling you.
Chants are... This is difficult. Chants are storytellers, right? That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be a collector and a curator.
Footnote. No.
The things humans make up are delicate when they're out in the wild. Stories and languages and secrets, they have a lifespan. If no one passes them on, then they die, with the last living person to remember them. A chant tries to... They go around, they learn stories, and they tell them to other people. And when an apprentice becomes a master chant in their own right, they give up their name and their homeland. They have to. There's no other option. They have to do it.
Footnote. Your bias is showing.
I think this is because... Why? Why is this so hard? It's because you need to put yourself aside if you're going to be a chant. You have to be humble. You can't put too much of yourself into the stories you're telling. That's what my master told me. Because they're not your stories. You're just an empty vessel. So you have to keep yourself separate. I think that's why we unname ourselves.
Footnote. Sort of, but not really. Why are you bothering to chatter about this? If this is your idea of explaining yourself, my patience is already wearing thin.
But people call me Chant now, and I still think they're talking to him. My master Chant. Chant isn't me. This is a mess, isn't it? Everything in my head is a big tangled knot. I'm not doing a good job of this so far. I always do this. It's my weakness. That's what my master Chant used to say. I talk too much about things that aren't important. I babble, and I get sidetracked. There's no translation for what I'm thinking and feeling. Why can't I stop talking about him? Why do I have to keep carrying him around with me? Why can't I just forget? I don't want any of this anymore. Why aren't there words? Why can't I just excise it, like a surgeon cutting out a tumour? Or exorcise it, more accurately, naming the evil thing to gain power over it, and casting it into salt water to burn it away? Why can't I name it? Why isn't there a word that means the same thing as... I don't even have a metaphor to lay hands on. My heart scrubbed raw with sandpaper. There, that will do. Drowning on dry land, feeling like the water is about to close over my head at any moment, frantic and panicked and scared. Or even lying down in the middle of a deserted road and crying and screaming until my throat bleeds. Or so much anger and hurt and anger and fear and anger and anger and anger that it chokes me, that it paralyzes me, that I fall down crying again because I just can't do anything with it. And there's nowhere to put it down. So I have to hold it in my heart, and there's no one to turn it against except myself. So settle in, self, and hang on. But, all right,